Welcome to another drawing in the graphics technology course. This one's an orthogonal stepped block. Right, I've completed the title block, so the first thing I need to do, I don't have my views blocked in, I do have labels and I've got a starting point which is helpful, and I need to translate this stepped block into 3 orthogonal views. So I've set up my sheet so it's all square with my T-square. I'm going to box in the views first. So I'm going to start by extending out my first 2 lines, and then I'm going to start putting in on my front view, which is this view here, the dimensions. So here we've got 90 across, 60 plus 30 being 90, so I'm going to mark 90, and the height being 45. Now putting these dimensions here means that I can translate them across to my other views. So to my top view for the width and my side view for the height. So this, making sure my T-square is always firm against the edge. Translating these lines up using light construction line weight and across from my side view. Oop, that line didn't come out. Okay, alright, so I've got now a width for my top view and a height for my side view, and that came all from just 2 measurement points on my front view. Now for the top view, I'm going to indicate the bottom edge of the top view just to start out. I'm going to put some other information on, so I'm looking square down, top view always above the front view, so that's going to be 60 deep, so measure mark 60, see if I've got space for that, just, which is going to make it difficult to put dimensions on, but see how I go. Alright, so I'll have to put the dimensions somewhere else. Okay, now this one I am going to actually extend across. The reason I'm doing that is because from my front view, if I use my 45-degree set square, sit it straight onto my T-square, from the very top right corner of my front view where I've boxed in, I'm going to draw a 45-degree angle. Now, if I take my top view lines and extend it to this 45-degree angle, it will give me some points to project down and the exact width of my side view. So my top view can be translated across and down into my side view. So there it is. I'll just, extra line there, which I will clean up. Okay, so I have boxed in effectively my front, my top and my side view. Once you've boxed in your views, then it's time to start putting some information on to show detail of that view. So I've got this big block on the left, which is 30 wide. So I'm going to put that mark here, 30 wide. I'm actually going to take that line not just up here on my front view, but across my top view as well. So actually going to use a firm line for this so I don't have to do it twice. Alright, so I use that same line for my front view and my top view. The other thing on my front view is I've got this area which is broken into steps, and you can see here it's 15, 15, so it must be 15 at the top, so it's basically divided into 3 parts. So I'm going to measure and mark those, 15 and 30. I can also take those across to my side view when I'm ready. So first I'll just put them here on my front view. Now because I've still got the boxing in, it's hard to see the finished shape because I still have, that was a bit bumpy, still have the outer lines, outer edges of the box. So I'm going to firm in the edges of my box, of my shape I should say. So my design has outlines. So outlines are the darkest, firmest lines that really give clarity to the final design shape. So it's important to make those fairly dark and firm. They should be the darkest lines on your page. All the other lines, the hidden detail, the center lines, the dimensions, they should all be lighter than your outlines essentially. All right, so using my eraser, coming in nice and close and cleaning up my corners. Okay, I have a clear shape outlined for my front view, making sure that nothing is more than just a straight corner. I'm cleaning up as best I can. Okay, now I'm going to do my top view. So there's information there that I can't take directly from the front view. So top down, you can see here we've got the top step is a bit wider at 30, it sits right at the back, and then we've got another one that is 15. So coming down from the top, we're going to do 30, step of 30, and then another one at 15, which is basically at 45. Can take these lines right across. Going to do them firm because they are the edges of my object. I'm going to firm in the edges of this block on the top view, making sure everything is the same darkness. Make consistent outlines. Okay, so this steps back, so this line is not going to get erased. That's just this one here. And this one's going to get erased. So coming in, and that will make it a lot clearer where our shape is. Still need to do this top line up here, firm that in. Right. Okay, so cleaning up some of the lines there just to make that view really sharp and clean. All right, I am going to put dimensions on this one. This one requires dimensions, so okay, now these lines, I can take these down. I'm going to do the side view. So just like before with my boxing in, I can actually translate a lot of these across. Now, if this is my front view and this side view is sitting to the right of my front view, I'm essentially turning the right corner and looking at it from that direction. So it's basically that side view that I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm going to have a bit of a step. I'm going to have, it's probably going to be out here, a bit like that. All right, so just pop this let out a bit more. I'm going to be doing construction line weights because there's going to be a little bit of erasing. Everything is just a guess at this point, so this one's going to be in the middle. And then I'm going to take from my top view some information. So if this comes across here and this one comes across here, I can take those directly down to give me my steps. Now this one is going to be this step and then the bottom step for the next one. So that comes down. I'm going to firm that in. It's the bottom step. Okay, so I am looking at that step on the side, and you can see there I have some extra lines, and fortunately, because I'm doing a construction line weight, they'll be easy to erase. But I'm going to firm in the exact extent for these steps and erase out the excess, making that nice and neat. Try and use an eraser that's clean and gives you a bit of an edge so you can get in right in there. Gives you a nice clean line and edge and finish. Alright, now I have this full block here, so I have to go around the outline, around the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I have my basic shape. We don't finish there. We have some dimensions to put on this one. Okay, making sure that goes to the corner. Alright, now I do need to clean up all my construction lines here because I need to not confuse my construction lines with my dimensions. So at this point I need to erase all the construction lines, making sure I don't damage my drawing in the process. Now, an easy way to do dimensions, given that we've got a shape that's fully dimensioned here, is to take those dimensions and place each one of these dimensions as given onto our views. Now with dimensions, you always only dimension so you can be read from either the bottom of the page or the right hand side of the page. That's really important. You don't dimension looking, so if you're looking from here, it's either got to be looking from this angle or from this angle. Okay, so, and we never double dimension, we never over dimension. We've got to not clutter our drawing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some key dimensions on my front view. I'm probably going to put these two up here. I'm going to divide this up, and I would say on my side view I'll actually put the full height because I've got a bit more space here. Alright, so let's do these ones here to start. So I'm going to do the 30 and the 60. Now I need to do leader lines, do not touch my drawing with the leader lines. I have to leave like a 2mm gap between my drawing and the extended leader lines, projection lines. Okay. I'm trying to make them a little bit lighter than my outline. This pencil is very, I think it's an HB rather than a 2H. Okay. Now this one I'm going to do dimensions in line. So I'm going to do one long line here, and I'm going to break that up by putting little arrowheads and long thin arrowheads that touch my projection lines. Okay, and then I'm going to put 30 in the middle at the top, neat, and 60. Okay. The next bit I'm going to break up this area, the 15 and 15. So again, I'm going to do some projection lines, but they're not going to touch my drawing. Now, if I wanted to do the full height, I could, but I don't think this is the best space for it. I don't want to overlap another projection line if I can help it. So I'm just going to do it in another space. I'm actually going to do it on my side view. So here on this one, again, a few dimensions in line with each other. And I'm going to write these 15, 15 so it can be read from the right hand side of the page. If I was going to do a full height, I'd have to do the longer dimension on the outside of the shorter dimensions. That's a convention that needs to be followed. Now this one I'm going to put the full height here. I don't need to dimension these because I've already done that here. That would be over dimensioning. Again, not touching my design with the projection lines. Doing long thin arrows, doing the full height being 45 as read from the right hand side of the page. I can also here, because I've got lots of nice space, I can do the width, which is 60, and because I don't have much space around here. Okay, so that's very useful. Just put that dimension on my side view instead of trying to cram it into the top view. You'll notice that my dimensions aren't super close to my shape either. They have to be at least 8 mils from the shape. Okay, they can't be right in here. They should be at least 8 mils away. Okay, so this one is 60. Now at this time I'm going to double check to see if I've got all the information needed to construct this shape. There's only one thing I think I might need to do. Here we go, yeah, is these ones that basically break up this 15, 15 and 30 up the top here. So I can do that off to the side on my top view, and that will conclude my dimensions. So I'll do that here and here. I'm going to do one in line as well, and making sure I don't touch so it separates the dimension from my object itself. There we go. Still need one here. There we go. So arrowheads, just breaking this up into the smaller pieces, added together we'll be able to get the full depth of the object. But here we can just write 15, 15, 30. All right, that concludes the whole orthogonal with dimensions. Okay, well done.